Hey guys, Gamer's Friend here. Here to answer all the questions I've been getting about basic training, the army, and shit in general. I got my boy here.
Private Horko. What's up? How's it going?
Yeah, so we're gonna be answering your questions and shit. So, hardest thing in basic. You can go first for this. Hardest thing in basic.
Honestly, the hardest thing in basic was the mind fuck that it is. Because it really is just a really big mind fuck. The drill sergeants just break you down. But honestly, once you get past the point that they're only there to help you, and you just gotta take it with a grain of salt, shit gets a lot easier. About you?
I didn't really care about the drill sergeant so much. I hated the ruck march after Vic Forge.
You're just a pussy. It's only a walk, dude. How hard is it to walk?
I don't know, my boots weren't agreeing with me and I got blood blisters like a mofo. I don't know, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I still did it and I didn't care, like I wasn't complaining about it. I didn't like doing it. It wasn't really hard, but I didn't like it. Especially after Vic Forge and no sleep. But we'll get into that later.
Alright. So how long is basic? Our basic training was 10 weeks. But supposedly they're supposed to make it longer now. It's supposed to go back to 12 weeks. So it depends on when you join and when you get like sent off.
Yeah. I mean, the last time Army Basic was 12 weeks was like early 2000s, I think. But with higher tensions going to Korea and Russia and shit, I guess they're just trying to amp up to 12 weeks again. So,
Wow.
and that included reception? 10 weeks includes reception?
Yeah, because it's 9 weeks actual basic and then 1 week of reception.
Yeah, reception's where you do all your in-processing and get your shots and all that shit.
Yeah, background checks and shit.
Alright. Oh, this is a good one. How hard is basic over other branches?
Honestly, I don't know too much about the other branches basic. I know the Marine one is hard as fuck. I've talked to some Marines here. Their shit is way harder, way longer. They actually do real shit. But Army basic training was pretty tough too. I mean, it was a lot of PT and a lot of fucking field exercises we had to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I've heard two things about Marine training. I heard that Marine training at Camp Pendleton is actually harder than Paris Island. But, I don't know if that's true or not. We know it's harder than Air Force and Navy.
Yeah, I know theirs is shorter. I think theirs is only like 7 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because if you were in the Navy and you joined or if you were in the Navy or the Air Force and you joined the Army, you have to go back to basic training. If you were a Marine and you joined the Army, you don't have to do basic training.
That also goes with if you're in the Army and you want to transfer to the Air Force, you don't have to go to Air Force basic training because
it's harder.
Yeah, it's like what's the point?
More physical.
Our APFT is harder than the Navy and Air Force too. Like our physical fitness test has higher standards. We run longer. It's a little shit like that. So, I mean, it's, you know, it goes, I think it goes Marine, Army, Coast Guard, and if you don't know anything about Coast Guard basic, you need to look that shit up, because
you die.
Yeah,
they literally kill you and bring you back to life.
Yeah, they'll drown you alive. Coast Guard is so underrated, like, those guys fucking go have it tough. And then, what did I say? You think Navy and Air Force?
Honestly, I don't know anything about theirs. Or I would imagine Navy, because you probably got to do a lot more shit in the water. Air Force, all they do is sit behind desks and fly planes.
Yeah, I know Navy you have to do like damage control and shit. Like if your shit gets hit bad. Air Force, literally from what I saw from their videos, and correct me if I'm wrong if you're in the Air Force, but all I saw is you guys running around with orange traffic cones and shit like that. So that's the way I see it. Yeah. And National Guard, you go to Army Basic, okay?
Yeah.
I'm tired of that question too.
National Guard,
yeah.
Army Reserve, Army. You're all part of the Army.
Yeah, you all National Guard goes to Army basic. All right.
I was shooting.
Yeah, that's a question one of you literate people sent us.
How is
shooting? How is shooting? How is it? How does it work up?
I mean, I love shooting guns. That's half the reason I joined the Army. So I already knew how to shoot before I came in. I was literally pulling shots at the range days just so my drill sergeant would let me shoot more. Because if you shot and you grouped right away, you were done shooting for the day. So I was like, fuck that. Shoot 3, pull 1. Shoot 3, pull 1. I ended up shooting for like probably a good 1,000 rounds. Go back the next day, zero my rifle within 20.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you zero your rifle, like the complete idiots that can't shoot, like they'll give you like unlimited amounts of rounds. It's ridiculous. And the people that can shoot, like I think I was stupid. I wasn't thinking like this guy. I zeroed my rifle in like 20 rounds. And then for the rest of the day, I just sat there while these idiots were just going through tons of rounds because they didn't know how to zero. It peed me off.
Qualifying was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Shooting with the pop-up targets. That's the first time I've ever done anything like that. At home, I always just used static targets. You know, just put something up, shot the hell out of it, took it down, shot some more shit. So it was fun to test your reflexes. You know, it's 40 targets from 3 different positions: prone, supported, prone, unsupported, and then kneeling. In case they didn't let me stand. That's my favorite shooting position.
Yeah, the Army doesn't do standing anymore. I believe Marines do. But who knows, with new Army basic, that might be another stance. And by the way, this guy's been shooting guns for a long time. This was like my first time shooting an actual rifle, so 2 different perspectives
Yeah,
on it.
because I mean, with me, I taught myself how to shoot. I literally just bought a fucking gun, went out to the farm, and started shooting. The thing is, you want to be comfortable. The more comfortable you are in the position that you are, the better you'll shoot. I hate laying in the prone. It's uncomfortable as shit. I'm accurate. I won't admit that. It does help reduce the sway, but I just fucking get all jittery and shit. I keep wanting to move, and that's what you don't want to do when you're shooting. You want to stay in one spot, be comfortable, and shoot up.
Yeah. I like shooting in the kneeling, but that's just me. But.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Can drill sergeants touch you? No.
They're not supposed
They're
to.
not supposed to.
That's the. They're not supposed to.
There were some rumors going around when I went to basic that some privates got touched in their privates, but nothing was confirmed. But no, they can't hit you anymore. That was the old Army. It used to be like, oh yeah, you're being a jack off. All right, whatever. Let's go in this back room real quick, and you come out with a black eye.
Yeah. I mean, if you run into them like on 0 day, like during the shark attack, which is like a bunch of drill sergeants over here, and then you're getting all the bus all clusterfucked and not knowing where to go, and if you touch a drill sergeant, you're gonna be dropped. That's the thing. If you touch a drill sergeant, you're gonna be slammed hard.
Yeah, because they see that as assault. So you assaulted them first, so they can retaliate.
Yeah.
Or if you have live ammunition, they can touch you. That's another thing. If you're fucking around on the range, they'll drop your ass quick.
Yeah. You make sure your rifle's pointing down at all times when you're on the range, or you're gonna get a boot to the face. What happens when you quiet? What happens when you quit? Thanks for spelling that correctly.
Well, it depends on what stage you're in, what happens. Because in reception, you can quit out and literally you just stay there and you're stuck in reception until they process your paperwork. In basic, pretty much the same thing. You're just stuck there until they process your paperwork. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to quit when you're in basic, because one, you're not going to get out faster. Basically, you become like the drill sergeant's bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you're still working for the Army. You'll just be put on all the boring details. You get to pick up the lead, like, during the range and shit, or the shells. Like, you don't get to do any of the fun stuff. And you're still there. Yeah, the brass. And you're still there for the rest of that basic. And you get to see your company graduate and you're just not part of it.
Yeah.
Now, if there's an emergency, I knew a kid whose mom had cancer or some shit. They actually sent him home immediately.
Yeah.
But if you just bail
if
out,
you just bail because
you're staying. You're not getting out like fast.
Yeah, a kid quit in my company. He's still there right now, and I've been out for 3 months.
Yeah, so
I've been out of basic for 3 months, and that kid's still there.
All right.
Yeah.
What happens at MEPS/ASVAB? Well, you get to have an old Asian guy stare at your butt, and
you do a hearing test within like 2 minutes, and a fucking eye test, and like one page eye test. You look at one thing, and if you can see the numbers, you know those circles that have all the numbers, like a hidden number in it. Like, I can't fucking describe it right, but it's a colored dots.
Colorblind test.
Yeah, that's what it is. You do one of those, and if you can see it, you got 20/20 vision. I know I don't have 20/20 vision.
Yeah, that's the thing.
According to the Army, I have 20/20 vision.
I normally wear glasses. I went through all the MEPS, and they did not issue me glasses. I qualified with my rifle without glasses. So if you have glasses, bring your prescription to MEPS, because they don't give a that they're stupid. And if you hate needles, then you're going to get your first needle at MEPS, by the way, because they take a lot of blood at you.
Yep. You got to make sure you don't have any diseases, but you can get in the Army with certain diseases. There's a list of okay and not okay.
And there's waivers and all stuff like that.
So, I mean, if you have like what is it called? Anemia or some shit like that, you can still get in. You just got to get a waiver, and they'll give you fucking supplements.
And then ASVAB?
That's yeah, dude. That's like your ACT, SAT?
SAT and stuff.
It's just like that.
Yeah, it goes over there.
Just study that kind of shit. Get a fucking study guide for a couple weeks. Do some math problems. I mean, if you're still in high school, ask your fucking teachers. They'll probably know some stuff that's going to be on there. Because
I mean, ASVAB isn't just used for military, so like, and there's so many resources even on YouTube that you can look up for ASVAB as well. So yeah, that kind of just determines your job and all that shit. So just study and you'll be good. Can you go to from Air Force? No, you have to. If you're coming from Air Force and you're going into Army, you have to go to Army Basic because it's a lot harder. So yeah. How does college work?
Well, that depends if you're active or if you're National Guard or Reserve. Because obviously, well, no matter what, you have to be in for a year before you get your bill. And there's two different GI bills. There's the normal GI bill and then the post 9/11 one. Which I was still kind of confused about it, but according to my drill sergeants, they said the post 9/11 one was better because you put in less money and you end up getting more. And if you serve, I think it's 7 years, and you get you still have any leftover money from the post 9/11, you can actually transfer that to your kids or your spouse.
Yeah.
So
because that's what I signed up for. I did post 9/11, which I think is the smarter route, but it depends on your major. Some people are going for like masters more than just bachelors, so it really depends what you put into the Army is what you're gonna get from it. So just research that to base it on your needs and all that stuff. Let's see.
They also help you out with like school loans and stuff like that. Like if you take them or if you have them currently, then you can actually get them refinanced for very low. Like I think it's like 2 to 4% interest, somewhere in between there, depending on how much the loan is. So it's another thing you should know.
How do I pick my MOS?
Well, you just gotta hope your recruiter's not a fucking asshole.
It's basically
because it's depending on your ASVAB score to see, because it's obviously the ASVAB tests you on many different like skills of knowledge, like if you're good with writing, technical stuff, mathematics, or comprehension, things like that. So whatever you score good in, it obviously you can get those jobs that require those certain skills. But you'll have a pretty good list to pick from, and it's also ones that are available.
Yeah.
Because there's certain jobs that the Army needs more than others, obviously.
I'm actually going to stop the video here and I'll make a part 2 because YouTube's retarded and only lets me upload 15-minute videos. So see you then.